So here we are at Silverstone, an iconic track which held the first Formula 1 race in 1950, and still in 2020 it's home to the British Grand Prix and this week's OFL Formula Racing GP. So 3.6 miles of this fan favourite circuit, then an 18 corners which wrap around the Formula World War II airbase. Overtaking opportunities come at the end of the DRS zones, and there's a lot of overtaking opportunities coming this race. But first we have to get into qualifying, and we do have a short 18-minute session for you today. And we're just waiting for all the drivers to be ready. The scene should come in shortly. And we're waiting for all the drivers. Of course, joining you today is me. I'm running through all the commentary for this Formula 1 race. I am Tom Hunt, otherwise known as Ampigeon, and we are back into it. And for some reason, we're on a we were on a 3-lap race. Now we're on qualifying. So, waiting for the cars to get out on track, and we will. I'm trying to find out, figure out the. There we go, lap data. So, yeah, welcome back to another OFL Formula Racing League race. Should be another exciting one, considering the safety car mess, the weather mess we had last time. It looks like it's going to be another sort of wet weather day. The clouds looming over the circuit, and cars are coming out as well. So in this short qualifying session, as last time, if people choose the balanced tyre option, they will be having 3 sets of soft tyres and 1 set of medium tyres. Drivers opting to go out on the medium tyre to set banker laps, such as Mark as well. Mark, of course, last race, having a bit of a mare being taken out by one of the McLaren drivers, who has a race ban for this race for 2 unsafe rejoins. So Mark looking to claw back that second place, that podium place that he missed out on last time. Sammy, last week's race winner, still in the pits. But we are looking for some very tidy laps to take place here. I mean, it's the only way you're going to get a really quick lap is if you have a smooth run. A lot of these corners are very flowing. You need a good exit, especially on 2. Hang a stroke. Drivers just warming up their tyres as they go around. So everyone's pretty much on an outlap. And Mark getting ready to start here. So Mark, second in qualifying last race, so we know he does have some pace, and we're right on board for the first lap for him on his first lap. So going through Abbey and into Farm Curve, taking as much of the curve as you can onto the outside curb, taking a late apex through to Village Corner, and then trying to take it nice and wide through the loop, getting a nice exit, because this momentum is going to carry you onto the Wellington Straight. DRS open, and now coming into Brooklands, using all of the curb, braking at the 50-metre board, taking a nice early apex there, and his lap might get interrupted, not quite, as he goes through Luffield. Important exit out here as that momentum takes you all the way through Woodcote out onto the old pit straight that was used and that was changed from 2011 through Copse Corner, flat out, taking as much of the inside curb as you can. And there we go, now through Aintree, through Maggots. Car getting in the way there, just quite into Beckett. Making sure you get a nice exit, DRS open as you go through Chapel Curve, down the Hanger Straight. So a lot of momentum needed to be carried through those few corners. Up to Stowe, braking at the 50-metre board, a bit wide there as you try and carry it through 6th gear, and then into Yale, braking just as the curb starts. Taking a nice line through Club, getting as wide as you can, and then through the last corner to complete a lap, setting a 1:28.0. So a good starting lap. Let's see what Shoro can do on his outlap as he starts his lap. Sammy taking it nicely through Luffield. And a nice exit as well there to carry momentum. Gaming Pass setting a 126.3 on the soft tyre. So I think the medium tyre runners are going to be a little bit slower, as they would be. Sammy's going to get blocked on his qualifying lap here as he goes through Aintree and then through Maggots and Beckett's. And there's already a 5-second grid place penalty for YOT or Yacht for a collision with another car, the Mercedes Fuba. So Gaming Pass at the moment setting the quickest time on those soft tyres. Getting a bit racy. Sammy with a 1:25.9. What's going on through here? Getting a bit too racy during qualifying. I think that's just fighting for track position. So at the moment on the soft tyres, Sammy with a 1:25.9. Gaming Pass with a 1:26.3. Of course, they could be going faster, but the track conditions, they're going to be the track's going to be very, very green, so a cold track, but that will rub it in as the session goes on. Shadow of Time coming in, and this teammate showing the second row, 127.2 and a 127.4 for both of the AlphaTauri drivers. So still a lot of time in Mark Yatt and still a lot of time in Ivan as well. And it looks like Universe is on their outlap, trying to get a bit of space from the drivers in front. I think those drivers are going to be going into the pits at the end of this lap, just on their cooldown. So Universe, if that timing's right, getting a bit onto the gravel when they get to the Brooklands, but they should have a free. Luffield. They should have a free lap in clean air as they go a bit wide on their outlap. Just trying to warm those tyres up, warm those brakes up, making sure that they are in the correct operating range. About 101, 102 degrees on this game is where you're going to find those tyres working the best, but it might be hard to get those tyres up and running in these conditions. Gaming Pass setting another faster lap in the Red Bull, so just trying to edge out a bit of a gap to second place. Nice lap. Universe going a bit too deep into Abbey, and that compromises run through Farm Curve. And then run through Village and Lucas, a bit of a bit frisky run there. The brakes locking up. Trying to get a bit of a draft from Gaming Passes on his cooldown lap, breaking at the 50-meter board and taking that lay apex and out through Luffield, a bit wide there. But yeah, it's good to get a really good exit out of Luffield. You've got to prioritise that, especially through Woodcut and then through Cops. It's a very momentum-based track. As soon as you lose all of that momentum in the fast speed section, you've lost a load of lap time. There's only really 2 or 3 braking points throughout this lap. Beckett's being one of them, going out into the Chapel Curve. I think Beckett's is one of those places where you really do need momentum, as Universe is looking like they're warming up their tyres, so they might have a bit of lag happening there. They might have abandoned that lap as soon as they went wide. So we'll see where this puts them for now. Bit of a scruffy lap there, and it's going to be in the late 130s, a 136.2. Puts them only 14th. They Shoki's managed to put themselves into 4th on the medium tyres, so they've still got a lot of time to find. Obviously on the slower tyres. Obviously going very slowly. I think they were on low fuel, trying to do a bit too many laps than the fuel allows them to. You can only really get one fast lap in. If you abandon the lap, you've got to really go slowly around the circuit. So the two AlphaTauris in the top 10 getting past the lone Red Bull today. Currently on provisional pole with 8 minutes and 20 left to go. Sammy, previous week's race winner at Austria. By a mile as well, about 14 seconds between the two cars. Shoki is going very slowly. So yeah, a lot of time to find for the top 4, and even Marek as well. I'm sure he can find more time as Ivan retires from the session. So I feel like a 1:28.1 is enough to put them inside the top 10. Of course, Light Blurs, he's very close to that. So I'm sure he'll improve on time as he starts his lap. Nice curb usage on the entry of Avi. And a nice hit on the apex through Village. Let's see how he can go through the loop. Nice and tidy, using a lot of curb on the exit, which is good. Now it's that momentum-based run. DRS open as soon as you can. Down the Wellington straight, looking for that 50-meter board. And he does hit it well. And a nice late apex into Brooklands. Now, does he go wide through Luffield? No, he likes to keep it in. But that does have good momentum off the exit through Woodcut now. And into Copse, taking all of the curb on the outside and then all of the curb on the inside, but a bit too deep. Bit of understeer for the Racing Point driver. As into Maggots and Beckett's, a bit wide through there. That compromises his run through Chapel Corner and compromises the run on the Hangar Straight. Up to Stowe, breaking at the 50-meter board, trying to use as much curb on the entry as you can, and he does, and on the exit as well, a nice amount of curb. As soon as this curve starts on the inside, you brake, and a nice run over Club through the last corner. A bit too much curb there, only good enough for 8th, but a good improvement nonetheless. So King of Time on another lap, nice and tight through Luffield. I mean, there's really two lines through that corner there. You've either got the line where you keep it nice and close, or you've got the line where you run a bit wide, but then cut it back. So a lot more cars on an outlap. They might be able to get 2 runs in if they get a move on. But so far, Mark has only done a 1:28.0. That puts him down 11th. That's not the pace you'd expect to see, especially from his qualifying performance last week. Gaming Pass starting another hot lap. Taking it nice and steady. That's a lovely through a few section of corners as he goes around the loop and into the Wellington Straight. Taking a nice amount of curb there. You really want to maximise the amount of curb you can take. The curbs are quite wide, and that just gives you a better exit. That gives you more cornering speed as well as a nice exit from Luffield as well, using as much of the curb as you can. Now let's see how much curb he takes through Copse Corner. Pretty much all of it. His car's nearly off the circuit, and a lot of exit curb as well. Keeping it flat. That sounds flat. Going down into 7th and then going down into 6th through Beckett's. That gives him a very nice run out onto Chapel and onto the Hangar Straight, so good momentum being carried. A nice, smooth and steady lap from Gaming Pass. And where does this put him? Does he improve? By 0.4 of a second for a 1:25.1. And it's Sammy's job to reply with that now. Sending it flat as well, and pretty much the same gearing, although Sammy through Bucklands goes into 5th, and that sends him out wide. So a bit of a scuffed run there. Onto the Hangar Straight. Then up through Stowe. Yeah, a bit messy there. A bit messy as there is a Ferrari off. It's Marek. Through Yale into Club. Let's see if there's any improvement on Sammy. A bit of a scruffy lap with a 1:25.2, improving by 7/10. So, yeah, if that mistake through out of Beckett's hadn't happened, he would have been surely into the 1:24s. Bit of an unfortunate run through there. He should have time for another lap if he just dives in and dives straight out. Of course, he has one more set of soft tyres to use if he's gone for the balanced setup. And Shogi's another driver to watch as well. A qualifying of, I think it was 8th or something last race in Austria. And he got a P2 based on strategy and fantastic driving as well. So let's see if he can place himself higher. A 1:27.2, and hopefully he can find some more time through that as Yacht starts his lap. A lovely flowing section, a lovely flowing section through Loop, and out through entry onto the Wellington Straight. So his sector times, he's 2/10 up on his previous sector. One time, but gets it all wrong onto the entry of Brooklands, and that messes up his run. So he's got to just put it into lean fuel, turn off the RS. So he's still going to go for it. No, he's just going to back off. So he has time to do another lap if he gets a move on, if he just saves some fuel. It should be okay to get another lap in. Mark putting himself into 5th. I missed that. So Shadow of Time into 3rd. And this is a bit of a scuff lap for him, of course. The time is on the 140s and he dives into the pits. So you're opting to do another lap, as Sammy and Gaming Pass haven't gone out again. So Mark going out of the pits onto the yellow walled medium tyres. They definitely look like a new set. As he goes out wide to try and not block one of the laps of Shoki. Yeah, and Shoki's not going fast as well, so the qualifying session looks to come to a close here. Let's see if King of Time, 2 seconds down on his sector 1, so I don't think he's going to be improving. Marek going out wide through Chapel, I don't think he's going to be improving as well. And let's go to Furu as well. So he's 1/10 down in his previous sector 2, so he should be improving. If he improves by a 10th at least, that will put him around about P9, possibly P8. So let's see if he can improve on his time. Going into the last section of corners, through Club, now onto the back straight. Improves by 4/10. That puts him into the top 10, into P8. King of Time abandoning his lap, and should be good for 7th. Light blurs as well. He's in the pit, so he's not going to come out. So it's all on Mark now. Gaming Pass and Sammy as well are in the pits. Let's see if Shoki can improve on his time. I don't think he will. He's already passed the 125 mark and he's just going to dive into the pits. So now it's all on Mark and Mark's going into the pits as well. So it's all up to Chandra now to see if he can improve. And no, he's 12 seconds off his Sector 2 time. So for the OFL Formula Racing League British Grand Prix, it's Gaming Pass on pole with Sammy in P2. Yacht with his first appearance that I've seen, unless he's changed his name. He's in P3. Shadow of Time P4 with a 125.9, and then the rest of the drivers, Shoki and Mark, the only drivers to go in the 126s. Mark, I think, starting on those soft tyres. King of Time P7 in the AlphaTauri, so both AlphaTauris in the top 10. The only Mercedes out on track today. Fuba in P8, Marek, one of the Ferraris in P9, and then Light Blurs to round out the top 10 in the Racing Point cast in the McLaren. Of course, a substitute here for Ruby, who got the one race ban for 2 instances of unsafe re-entry onto the track. Ivan retiring about 10 minutes to go, I think, around there in P12 with a 128.1. Jack Sparrow with I think 3 points on his license with a 128.6. Chandra with a 131. And then Adam, Universe and Shura not even setting a time in P17. So that's how the grid looks. So yeah, join us very shortly for the race that should be happening very soon. Just before we do start as well, there's a 5-second grid penalty for Yacht. So he will start down in P7. That promotes everyone up. So Shadow of Time in P3, Shoki in P4, Mark in P5, and King of Time in P6. But now we will join you in about 10-20 seconds when we will start the race. I'll be right back. So the session just about to start now. It's 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5. And away we go for the OFL British GP. It's a really good start from Gaming Pass and Sammy in the back as they go through the first couple of corners. No contact just yet apart from the Ferrari, and there's a massive crash in the background, and there's a yellow flag in Sector 1 and a virtual safety car coming out. Sammy spins from P2, and there's carnage all in the background. Cars with a 5-second penalty with a severe collision onto Hugo Boss. I don't think he's sponsored, so the virtual safety car neutralising pretty much everything as penalties get handed out for severe collisions. And there's still collisions going on in the background, and Ivan in the Williams has retired from the session. He just lost his front tyre there. So carnage going on in the start of the race as usual. So Sammy dropped down to P6 from P1. That promotes Shoki up to P2. As they go racing again, the virtual safety car, of course, is over. There's still a yellow flag in Sector 1 and Sector 2. Nice overtake around the outside of Jack Sparrow into Maggots. Shadow of Time, a nice move, promoting him up to P9. He lost on the start as well. Chandra making a move too on Cars. Look now at the two Ferrari teammates. Marek, nice move up the inside through Club onto Universe. So Universe losing position there. Two teammates having a nice battle as Mark goes into the pits. That promotes Hugo. One of the cars has spun there. Couldn't quite catch who that was, and that was Universe. So a bit of a strange re-entry there onto the pit straight, and that blocks two drivers. And Universe with a 5-second penalty with a collision onto Jack Sparrow. And an unorthodox move there means the driver spins Universe. What's going on there? I'll have to have a look at that on the replay. There should be some penalties coming out for that as three drivers are in the pits. New front wing for Mark as well. So another start that hasn't favoured him too well. And another virtual safety car. I don't know how long that has been out. As Sammy looks to be going slowly, I think he might have spun again. And all of that mess has promoted Thuba up to P3. So whoever's pitted now under the virtual safety car should have had a good time for that. But it's the race is underway again. So no full-on safety car happening just yet. As Adam on the feed makes an overtake over Shara. And a yellow flag in Sector 1 as well. Gaming Pass, he's just storming away with the lead at the moment. Shoki in P2, Thuba in P3. And a 2-second gap from the lead. DRS has been enabled on lap 3. The first time in the league we've seen that. And a nice clean start for Gaming Pass. It's a shame for Sammy getting spinning round at turn 3. He's going to be looking to make some time back from that mistake. He's got Marek in his sights in the Ferrari. Now in DRS range he doesn't have DRS at the moment. And Universe gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So this race goes from bad to worse for him. Marek going wide through Luffield. And Sammy's going to have a better exit. And Mark as well is really a huge loser on this start. Only in P10 from where he started. Yeah, and Sammy's in perfect DRS range. He's got the better cornering speed. Marek making a mistake into Club. And Sammy's just going to fly past Marek, squeezing him a bit onto the grass there. That was a bit questionable defending, but Sammy gets past unscathed nonetheless. So making him move up into P4. As a Renault goes into the pit. Shari, he's 1 lap down now, getting past setting the fastest lap of the race, a 1:28.6. The Shadow of Time is now closing up to Hugo Boss. I don't think he's sponsored by Hugo Boss. I'm actually wearing the Hugo Boss white t-shirt right now. So, if anybody wants to know, well, now they do. Cars making an overtake onto Adam. Shara has left the session. And Shadow of Time is the only one closest to an overtake right now. So the top 4 spread around about 7 seconds. And Shadow of Time now, he's going to have a great run with the DRS through into Brooklands. And now let's see if he can keep it nice and tight through Luffield. Let's see if he can get the advantage on the exit. A bit of wheel spin, and all that time he's gained has just been lost. He spun out on the exit of Luffield. Jack Sparrow gaining that place, but luckily he will stay in 8th. The 30-second gap behind to Chandra is not going to affect him too much, but that was a bit overzealous to try and get some ground there, and that costs him a position. So yeah, a very spread out race. Gaming Pass setting another fastest lap of 1:28.5. He's just in clear air and he's getting the job done. So the next gap now, Sammy onto Fuba. And Yacht qualifying in P3, getting that 5-place penalty, down in 30. So let's see if Sammy can get a nice exit out of this section onto the hanger straight. He's going to have the DRS advantage, of course. And surely this should be a clean overtake into Brooklands, going towards the outside. Fuba obviously opting to fend towards the inside and just pushing him off the track. Bit of a strange defending there, but look at the exit that Sammy is happy riding on board. And Fuba just squeezing him out there. This is some questionable defending as Fuba trying to push Sammy into the barrier. That's defending you don't need to see. This is going to be a bit risky for Sammy now as there's a yellow flag in Sector 2 and 3. What's happened here? Shoki's gone off. Shoki's made a mistake and now into the gravel traps. But here we see Sammy making the move around the outside of Fuba. He's going to get this done on the hanger straight. And what a great move coming into Stowe. And it's a shame that Shoki has lost position. Universe a 5-second penalty again for speeding in the pit lane. So Mark now on the back of Chandra. Yellow flag in Sector 1. Something might have happened there between some drivers. Someone might have spun out. No position should have changed just yet. So maybe someone running wide. Chandra, speaking of running wide, into Mags and Beckett's. Not the greatest exit, and Mark should have him here. DRS. Through the hanger straight. And round the outside he goes. Straight into Stowe corner, around the outside of Chandra, and that's the move done. Up into 9th now. Constant yellow flags coming out. As Gaming Pass has built a 12-second lead. So that cleaner has really done him favours. His Yacht has lost a lot of time. He was on the back of one of the McLaren drivers, I think it was Cars, but now he's 33 seconds behind. There's still yellow flags in Sector 1 and Sector 2. As one of the Racing Point drivers goes off, that would be Yacht, as Light Blurs is DNF'd. So, Universe has been disqualified from this race, and Yacht has left the session. So, 3 retirements so far, make that for Light Blurs, Ivan and Universe. There's Jack Sparrow with a nice DRS run into Stowe, but not quite get close enough to get the move done. 4 tenths away from Hugo Boss, the Mercedes in front. As this battle looks to carry out further. So as we go into this race, let's have a look at the details. So Hugo Boss making up 12 places there, Fuba making up 4, Marek up 5, Shoki going down 1 after that spin into the gravel drop on the exit of Luffield, and Sammy doing wonders to make up the places from 6th into 2nd, and Gaming Pass has just kept his place. So drivers P9 to P12 have made stops, and Sharon has also made 1 stop as well. Yacht, of course, disconnecting from the session, but everyone in the top 8 has not stopped yet. As Jack Sparrow gets closer in DRS range to Hugo Boss. So 6 lap old tyres for soft tyres for Gaming Pass and Sammy, and P4 to P8 Fuba, the only driver, one of the drivers in the top 10, along with Chandra in the medium tyres, and Mark on the hard. So he's looking to go to the end on these sets of tyres. If he manages them well, he should be able to. Constant yellow flags in centre one. Jack Sparrow only 3 tenths away now, not quite close enough to make a move into Stowe, going a bit wide on the exit. Cast now then plowing close to King of Time in the Alpha Tauri. This is for the one singular point paying position. Looks to go around the outside, and Cops defending on the inside. And a bit of a squeeze there. I don't think that move was exactly legal, as King of Time gets squeezed off the track. But Cast makes it stick nonetheless, and no penalty coming out through the game. But we'll have to have a look at that on the replay. But that means King of Time now, he's going to have DRS. We should have DRS. Going onto the hanger straight, but not quite close enough to make a move up into Stowe. So Shadow of Time now closing up onto Jack Sparrow. So there is a fight for P6, P7 and P8 now that's going to go on. Jack Sparrow taking a bit too much inside curb through Cops, and that's going to give Shadow of Time a great run through Max and Beckett's onto him. So it looks like this DRS train is going to come into full effect unless Shadow of Time has a great run onto Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow getting it all on, and Hero Boss as well. So it could be a double overtake here for the Alpha Tauri driver. Gets 1 and gets 2 onto the inside of Stowe, squeezing him out a bit. And a Mercedes driver just nudging him out. What's going on here? Hugo Boss all to blame there, even taking out Jack Sparrow. What was that defending there? That's not something you want to see in any league race, let alone the one here. And yeah, Shadow of Time, he's just going to have to pit from here. And he might be able to go to the end on hard tyres if he pits for them. Didn't quite see who got a penalty there, but we should see another overtake. Let's see if this Alpha Tauri driver can get it, make it successful and make it stick as Cast goes wide through Beckett's. Moving to the outside on the hanging straight is King of Time. He gets that move done before Stowe. And Mark overtaking Shadow of Time as he goes into the pit. So Shadow of Time onto the hard tyres now. So he does look to go to the end. And he does replace his front wing as well. But King of Time, a lovely move there onto Cast for the final points paying position. So Jack Sparrow closing up onto Hero Boss, and Shogi's making moves onto Marek. But Shogi's going to dive into the pits now for a new set of tyres. He's going to probably go onto the hard tyres, make it stick for the end of the race. As King of Time now has no DRS set from Cast behind. Obviously taking out that 1 second gap that's needed, as the pit window is now open. So Shoki, we assume he's going to go onto the medium tyres, and yep, there they are. So he's going to have the faster tyres for this part of the stint, as Adam makes a move on Chandra. And has to let past Sammy as well in P2. So cars already being lapped here. Shadow of Time up next to be lapped. But Jack Sparrow, Hugo Boss and Shoki all in the pit. Shoki exiting now on his fresher set of tyres. And the medium tyres going on for Hugo Boss, although he does have a penalty to serve. And the medium tyres also going on to Jack Sparrow too, and a penalty to serve as well. So a new front wing also for Jack Sparrow. As you can see, the front right end plate is just, it's nowhere. It's nowhere to be seen. So Mark moving up into 6th now, after that early pit stop onto the hard tyre. So he should be able to make these last till the end of the race. Adam is coming up onto Chandra now. He's got DRS. Will he make a move into Stowe corner? Trying to go to the inside. Chandra a bit of a risky defence, clipping the right back tyre. Luckily, Adam not spinning out there. And is he going to dive into the last section? No, he isn't. He's going to bide his time. So Chandra lucky there to not spin Adam out, as Sammy is now in the pits from 2nd. Yellow flag in sector 1. as Fuba now moves into second place. Gaming Pass with a lovely 24-second lead. He's now got a pit stop ahead of any other driver. So a fairly clean race for him as well. As we move back to the battle between P8 and P9. Of course, I'm observing this myself. There's no quick switch between drivers. As Adam makes the move past Chandra into P11. So Jack not quite in DRS range yet. I'd just like to point out, if you're in Twitch chat right now and you do see incidents, please feel free to clip them. Of course, I'll be reviewing penalties after the race while I'm on the train journey home. Stewards have no rest. So yeah, if you do see any incidents, please, if you can go back into the VOD, clip them if you can. As Gaming Pass pits from P1 and he should retain this lead. As Jack Sparrow now tries to get onto the back of King of Time. If you're watching this from YouTube, also hello. I hope Alex includes this in the highlights. It's nice to see all the viewers from YouTube as well. And if you're watching this on the Twitch VOD after the race, hello to you as well. So Gaming Pass losing a position now as he comes out of the pits. So he had to serve maybe a penalty or maybe a front wing change. So he's now got to make up 2 more places of Marek, but Marek should be pitting soon. Those soft tyres should be done as Gaming Pass just makes the move stick out onto the Wellington straight. Bit of a risky move, but he did leave enough room. Marek going off of his own accord. Enough room was left there, so no penalties to look at there. So Gaming Pass now needs to make up the 3 seconds that he's lost to Fuba. As Jack Sparrow now has DRS, you can hear the ping. You can hear the high-pitched noise, which tells the driver that they are allowed to activate DRS. But not close enough to King of Time going into Stowe. So I'll have to wait another lap and have to have another tidy lap to get this move done. Or will he? Out-braking himself into the last section of corners and losing a lot of time to King of Time. So King of Time should be safe for now. He won't be... Jack Sparrow, sorry, shouldn't be in the DRS zone for the Wellington straight, but he might be able to make up some time. Gaming Pass getting very, very close to the Mercedes, sorry, of Fuba, who is on the medium yellow walled tyres. Adam pitting as well, and Marek pitting from 3rd place. So Sammy will make that place back. So it's pretty much just a fight for first position as through the first 2 corners, Fuba gets it all wrong, going wide. And Gaming Pass easily takes that position back. And now Sammy needs to make up 12 seconds to get his 2nd place back. Fairly quiet race from Mark so far. He's just trying to make these hard tyres, sorry. Keep getting confused between all the tyres. I don't know why. Been watching F1 for a very long time. Mark, very quiet race from him so far. As he trails 35 seconds behind P5. Now make that 18 as he keeps going down as Marek has left the pits. Make that 12 as well. So Mark gaining a lot of time onto Marek. And Jack Sparrow now might be close enough to get a move done on the next lap. So about 7/10, 6/10 further in front to King of Time than he was on the last lap. It's King of Time. He just goes wide through the first section of corners. DRS enabled for Jack Sparrow, but not a very good run onto the Wellington straight. So we will wait longer as Fuba pits from P2, gives Sammy the position. Sammy doesn't have to make an overtake, and the car that is disconnected gets in the way of Jack Sparrow. That's really unfortunate, actually. So he's lost a bit of his front wing. Now he can make a pit stop and still be in front of Cars in P11. So we still at least get 1 point in this race if he pits now. Of course, he has to have a good in-lap with this broken front wing. As you can see there, the front left end plate has broken off. So he'll lose a lot of grip and a lot of downforce. So I'll have to take corners a lot slower. As you can see, he's already losing time to King of Time in front. We'll see if he dives into the pits at the end of this lap. And no, he won't. So we'll continue with the damage. Confidently he can make up time. But he is losing to King of Time in front. And the King of Time being able to pull that out. So a fairly quiet race in the latter stages. Gaming Pass out in front with a 13-second lead. So Sammy, and I've seen a hydrate being redeemed, so I'll take that now. My throat's very dry, thank you, Cheryl. So he redeemed hydrate whilst he's racing, 20 seconds behind the Force Enduro of Yacht. Jack Sparrow still staying around about 1.6 seconds behind King of Time. So, you know, a mistake from King of Time here really puts Jack Sparrow back into contention. But as we see, maybe a 2-stop race is possible now for Jack Sparrow as his pit window is open for soft tyres. But yeah, the top 3 all split by 13 seconds each. So Sammy, would he be able to make up 13 seconds towards Gaming Pass? Of course, Gaming Pass has the fastest lap on the race. Shower, not doing his best Dan Latz impression. Yeah, that's really, yeah. That makes sense if he DC'd. Mark now closing on the back of Marek. So these hard tyres really coming into life now at the later stage of the race. Adam, of course, will need to move out the way. He's not in contention for any positions here. Adam sitting in P12, 20 seconds behind Cars. So let's see if Mark can get any ground here. Very, very quiet race from him so far, as we mentioned, and a quiet qualifying as well. Jack Sparrow making time onto King of Time. So Mark won't be assisted by the DRS of Adam, from the DRS, but he will get the slipstream onto Adam, letting him pass nice and smooth. So now it's a goal for Mark now to get onto the back of Marek and get a nice overtake into P5. Giving him some more points in the championship. But right now, Red Bull will still be leading the constructors if Gaming Pass and Sammy finish how they are. Jack Sparrow making up some really good time onto King of Time. So the King of Time losing his reign a little bit there over that 1.6 second gap he had. And now it's only 7/10, a shadow of time. He goes into the pits too. As we go back on board with Mark. Nice and smooth through Luffield. Just getting a good exit. And now he needs to get the momentum through Cops, through Maggots and through Beckett onto the Hangar straight. Marek going a tad wide there. So that gives more time gained for Mark. Now we might see an overtaking opportunity here. Marek, he needs to get this right, but he hasn't. Onto Chapel, he gets it all wrong. Now Mark, he's 5/10 behind. He's got the DRS assistance. He's going to put it into overtake. Will he be able to get the move done on the outside of Stowe? He looks for it. Marek just blocking it off. Now Marek's going to have a compromised run from that late block. So is Mark going to make a lunge into the penultimate corners? No, he won't. Marek trying to defend going out wide. And now to the back straight, that dirty air is going to lose Mark some grip as you see some oversteer going on, but Marek, a poor run from him as well. Trying to defend going into the first corner. Going through Farm as well. So 2/10 behind now. Mark, he really needs to bide his time. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. Someone's messed up, but Mark 7/10 behind now as he goes onto the Wellington straight. And he's going to make a move into Luffield. No, he isn't. Marek just blocks it off. Nice bit of defending there from him. Oh, was Marek parks it on the apex of Luffield, and Mark resets himself to track. Does he lose any front win there? He actually might be lucky not to lose some. That's a bit unfortunate there. A bit of overspeed of Mark, and it looked so good. But luckily... Oh no, he's lost the front right end plate. I thought he got away with the rear wing. And now Hugo Boss has 20 seconds behind him. So if Mark pits now, he's going to reappear in a roundabout. It's going to be close, but he might appear around about P8, P9 in the midst of the battle between Jack Sparrow and King of Time. Sammy taking out a second onto Gaming Pass on the last couple of laps. Yeah, a Mark pit, so we'll probably go onto a soft set of tyres as he just dives into the pit lane. That's really unfortunate. Marek parking it a little bit there. Maybe even brake checking him into the entry of Luffield. I think Mark expecting the driver to have a little bit more speed going through there. And he is onto the soft set of tyres as well, as the front wing is being changed. So no penalty for him. He's able to go straight on. And this battle between Jack Sparrow and King of Time, it's just been just doing a bit null. This Mark, he's not going to reappear. As Sammy gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple track warning. So he's really trying to get get time into Gaming Pass. Make up 12 seconds in around about 7 laps. That'll be about 2 seconds a lap he's got to try and make up, which doesn't seem likely. Mark reappearing in P9, not in the midst of the battle between Jack Sparrow and King of Time. But this battle looking to be a lot closer now. Jack Sparrow has the tyre advantage, but King of Time, as this stint goes on, his wear will be a lot better and his pace should be a lot better as well. Overtake being deployed for Jack Sparrow. He wants to make a move into the inside of Cobb, so a very unorthodox place to make a move. And that's what you get when you make a move like that. Jack Sparrow clipping the right rear tyre, of King of Time. Same time as I saw a time penalty out the corner of my eye. But Jack Sparrow, that's a move he shouldn't have made there. Should have just bided his time. Very unfortunate move for him. He's got front wing damage as well on the front left end plate. Gaming Pass just having to get past him there on the outside of the circuit, but he goes into the pits anyway. So soft tyres should be equipped here just to get those last 7 laps out the way as Gaming Pass goes on to lap 20. Sammy doing his best to take out some time. But yeah, Gaming Pass looking too solid at the moment to lose any sort of time. Mark promoted into P8 from that mistake from Jack Sparrow. A bit overzealous to make that move into Cobbs. So a fairly spread out race now. Let's see what Mark can do on these soft tyres. He's definitely got the tyre advantage, on King of Time. So Mark looking to make some inroads and get some points back. Cars overtaking Jack Sparrow as he was in the pits. So yeah, look at the times now. A fairly spread out race. As we look at some details. So Hugo Boss making up 12 positions. But he's pretty much stayed around P6 there and then. There's the top 7 have only made 1 stop. They've managed to keep their race clean so far. Just looking at fresher tyres. So King of Time on worse wear medium tyres. He's going to start to feel a loss of grip around about in 2 laps time. Gaming Pass and Sammy both on the same age tyres. Fuba, he's got a tyre advantage onto Shoki, but he has a 42-second gap away, so he's not going to be able to make that up in 5 laps unless Shoki makes a horrendous mistake. 2 podiums on the trot for him it will be. Someone gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring the blue flags, and that seems to be a bit of a theme going out through this league. Drivers not willing to let faster drivers past who are on another lap. So every driver up until P6 has now been matched by Gaming Pass. Thank you, Rutu, for redeeming the Hydrate Castle, also getting a 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flag. So in real life, after the blue flags are being shown, you'll have about 3 to 4 corners to get out the way of the driver behind. Otherwise, that will be a penalty. So yeah, a fairly steady race now. And I don't think these gaps are gonna lower anytime soon. Of course, the overlay goes off gaps off of to the leader. I think I'm able to change that. I think I am. I'm not too sure. Yep, there we go. Gap, fastest lap, and then should be intervals. There we go. So the gap on the interval. Sammy staying around about that 13-second mark away. As Mark is now straight on the back of King of Time. He's made up 5 seconds in 3 laps. Unbelievable pace from him. And now King of Time, I don't think there's anything he can do to defend this. He's just going to let this driver go instead of wasting his time. Now, DRS advantage for Mark. And on the outside, on the entry into Luffield, is going to get this move done surely before the entry of the Brooklands, and he will. Straight up into P7 for him. King of Time, nothing he can do about that. And a nice clean move there. That's something you really want to see in these leagues. It's just nice clean overtakes. Drivers not being a bit too egotistical in their defending. Getting their overs out a bit too much. And I think some of these drivers really need to understand, you know, just how you know, the limits of racing are and what they are. Because it detriments other drivers' races. And, you know, it just ruins the fun of the event. Of course, it is a league. You know, we're all here to have fun, but got to keep it serious with the racing at the same time. As King of Time is now no longer in DRS range of Mark making himself safe. So roughly about 6 corners later, he is out of the DRS threat of King of Time. So both Alpha Towers starting in the top 10. In Shadow of Time, well, he's just fallen back into 13th. He's trying to make time up onto Chandra. And they have the same compound of tyre on. So it's just about who's the faster driver at this stage. Shadow of Time taking out 5 tenths through the last sector alone on Chandra. Nothing to really go off of so far. Shadow of Time making up great pace onto Chandra in the McLaren. So he'll have DRS this time, but he might be a bit too far away unless Chandra makes a mistake going over the curb onto the Wellington straight. And now Shadow of Time, he's going to make a move onto the inside of Brooklands. And there's a collision. Chandra not looking in his mirrors. And that's a collision you don't want to see as Shoki goes past from P3. And Chandra, he's just cut the corner through Brooklands. He's had a bit of a better run through that incident. But yeah, Chandra not really looking where he's where Shadow of Time is coming from there, where the other driver is coming from. Turning in a bit too much. Of course, he's entitled to have that line if Shadow of Time wasn't alongside him, which he was. Shadow of Time, of course, getting his wheels just about halfway onto Chandra's car. So that's a bit of a mistake there. That will probably be some points added onto the license for the league owner. So Mark is now 2 seconds away from Hugo Boss. This is going to be a very good clawback drive into P6 if he can make it work. 1.7 seconds away from Hugo Boss, made that 1.6. his tyre advantage especially. He's just making in so much time onto Hugo Boss. He cuts down a second from when we last saw him, or from when we first saw him rather. So he looks set to take P5 on pace unless Hugo pulls out some questionable defending that we've seen from him in the past. Yellow flag in Sector 1. But Hugo Boss, he's taking it a bit too wide there through Chapel, and Mark 10, he gets a great run. Hugo squeezing him out a little bit there. That's some strange defending, but at least Mark gets it done before Stowe. Hugo not able to get him back there. So very careful from Mark there to try and evade Hugo's reckless driving pretty much. But it has just been Sammy and Gaming Pass as well. They've been just taking control of this race. Shoki as well in a surprise P3. Not really surprised. He's had some good pace through qualifying. Chandra getting out of the way very sensibly there. But another 14-second gap. It's not Sammy with the gap this time, it's Gaming Pass. Who had an unfortunate race last time out in Austria, but he certainly redeemed himself this time, bringing out a 15-second gap now. So he's just got the pace. He's so consistent. As I'm looking through these intervals now, it looks like none of these cars are close to each other to actually make a move done. It's only Hugo who won't be able to make the time up on Mark if his tyres do fall off the cliff and if he does make a mistake. But from what we've seen, he's definitely not going to make that mistake. Bit of a commentator's curse there. But yeah, nothing really else to say. Hugo's not going to make that time back as well. 2.3 seconds behind now. So it looks like this race is set in stone. Gaming Pass has now got to bring it home. Instead of bringing it home, he sets the fastest lap of the race of 1:28.0 on those medium tyres, on that low fuel as well, saving some ERS for that lap. As you can see on the wheel, he has about 10-15% of ERS to use throughout the remainder of this lap as Marek goes off from P5. So P5 has now been lapped in this race. Gaming Pass has just been making some inroads on every driver, and just his consistency has been fantastic. Sammy a few corners behind, getting a bit drifty on the exit of the loop. Mark has closed 2 seconds in on the wreck as well, so this might be a fight towards the end. Shadow of time. 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, but that's not going to make a difference to him as Fuba pits for new tyres. So he might be on the verge of disqualification. But the pit lane should be closed, so I don't know why he's pitting for new tyres. As Mark makes a move past Marek. What's gone on there then? He was off the track for that move and he's going to let Marek by, so he obviously feels like he's at fault for that move. And Hugo Boss suddenly gets past Mark as well, so that's very strange. What's happened there? Mark losing out 2 places. He feels like that was his fault. But around the corner, around the last one, Gaming Pass, with a 16-second lead, takes the win of the second stream round of the OFL Formula Racing League here at Silverstone. And Sammy, last week's race winner, coming round into P2. Hugo Boss, 5-second time penalty for an unserved penalty. Promotes a wreck into P5. And Mark down into P8. King of Time coming across in P6. And Shoki from his P2 from last week down into P3 on this week. A nice consistent drive from him. But I don't think these positions will stick. We'll have some penalties coming out for some drivers if they do make a mistake. Of course, I will be stewarding, possibly alongside Alex, the owner of OFL. We might be able to get in a call together just to see if we can get some Get some shooting going on. This should be our decisions. If you can't DM me, send me a friend request on Discord. I do set my I moderate under the Discord, so I do set myself on people not being able to message me. I'll accept your friend request if you do send me one. But that's everyone finished. Gaming Pass in P1. A lovely gap for him. And then Sammy in P2. And Shoki in P3. Driver of the day, Hugo Boss. But a very questionable moves there from him. But the driver's out on the podium now. The trophy being taken, the P1 trophy for Gaming Pass, and the celebrations all round on the podium. So it looks like to be an all-German podium as well. So Germany making inroads on Silverstone. But there we are, that's the end of the race. And that's the results there. Gaming Pass taking P1, Sammy taking P2, Shoki taking P3. What a fantastic race that was. At least there was no safety car at the start of this session. A load of penalties there as well, you can see on the final race result. But that might not be the end. The race results might change. And you can see the race results, hopefully in our Discord, that you can join. And you can get involved in any of the action on OFL. But that's been it for the race today. I'm Tom and Pigeon Hunt. Thank you very much for tuning in for this race. And we'll see you at the same time next week. Goodbye.